Hello, YouTube. Thank you for joining me on our Exhausted Supplies stream. We'll be starting it shortly, but before we do, we're going to have a little chat, hopefully, with the stars of Exhausted Supplies, Jonathan Carley and Pete Walsh. Oh, hang on. I've got some incoming. Who's this?
Oh no, not again. This all looks very familiar.
Hello, Jonathan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Luke?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm afraid I'm stuck in the sodding time vortex again. So we're
we've all been there.
just a few times.
I thought Missy was calling me. She's on the WhatsApp all the time. I try to block her, but she just sets up a new profile. It's ridiculous.
Oh, hold on. There's another incoming. Who's this? Oh, it's Pete. Pete, hello. How you doing?
How's it going? You alright?
Yeah, not bad. Oh, before I forget, we are live on channel 44,000. Please do not swear.
You've got to be kidding me.
So, nice to see you guys again. We're going to do the stream, as I say, in a little bit. Before we do, should we just reminisce about the project? I mean, maybe we'll start with you, Pete. I think I approached you first. Memories of that email when I said hi?
Yeah, I mean, I get quite a lot of Ninth Doctor requests and projects, most notably action figure animations, as when I first started out doing Ninth Doctor. So I always have a sense of trepidation, or it's a 68-page script unpaid to do Ninth Doctor. So I was like, okay, so let's check this out. And then you seem very serious about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously stumbled across your stuff when I knew I needed some voices. We sort of wrote the script, or the concept and the script sort of came about before we knew about people to voice the parts. But of course, as soon as I started looking for Ninth Doctor impressions, you came up, and it was inevitable. It was like, I've got to get this guy. This is the Ninth Doctor. So yeah, really pleased that when you said yes, and we could do it and we could crack on and record. So yeah, what do you think? Do you remember, Jonathan, when I sent you an email? What did you think initially?
Yeah, because I think you reached out to me through YouTube. I think probably through the comments on that video, possibly.
Yeah.
And like Pete, I've sort of got the similar history in that not so much the multi-page scripts, but the action figure stuff, some of which I'd made myself, which kind of put me on the map in the fan circles. But that was very much a sort of pre-2010-ish thing when Doctor Who was at its peak. So after that, it was sort of that first generation of New Who fans had sort of moved on, grown up, gone to better things. So it was kind of just sort of fizzled out. But then I thought, well, I can still do impressions. I still enjoy doing impressions. So I just went and did them straight rather than having to either wait to be invited or do a video myself. So I just did them as pieces to camera. And then, yeah, you came quite out of the blue, really, because I kind of thought, well, it's all finished, really. That's all ancient history.
Okay.
But with a very different sort of tone, really, because like Pete said, you were very serious and professional about it, which struck me straight away, because I thought either this guy is serious about it or he's a serial killer. And yeah, we went and did it, and it was as near a professional operation as you could have possibly have got. It was an excellent experience. It wasn't, it was a bit of, well, it was a no budget production, really, but there was no compromise in terms of the effort put in. You were all on it, and it was clear in the writing as well. So it was a joy from start to finish, and I got to meet Pete too. So an extra bonus was that little novelty of hearing the Ninth Doctor in the same room with you, because that was, doing voiceover work and that is quite a solitary profession a lot of the time. So getting to work with someone else, working with someone who surprises you, that was like, oh.
There's something about being in the same room and acting, and it's a lot more rewarding.
Yeah, because you're reacting as well as acting, because when you're doing all your bits remotely, as many of us are during lockdown, you kind of just sort of spitballing. It's like, this is how I read it, but you don't have the benefit of any feed or input from other people unless it's pre-recorded or whatever.
That's really nice to hear. Yeah, I mean that's it. I very much wanted you guys to be interacting rather than recording separately because yeah, it just comes across so much more natural, and it
Mhm.
means we can change things. So there were bits in the script that then on the day didn't quite work, and we were like, let's just tweak that. And it was so nice being able to direct like you were on set anywhere else, and actually have your actors, reacting to each other. Yeah, it was marvelous. And of course, you two do stuff together now. You're in We Sound Familiar, right?
Yeah, it was the start of a beautiful friendship, wasn't it, Pete? You tried to get me along for like one gig, but I wasn't available. And then you asked me again for Hooverville, and we did a big sketch with all our respective doctors, with Chris Thompson, who also does a 12th Doctor. So that's two 12th Doctors. But he was doing second. I did War, you did your 9, and Elliot did 10th Doctor. So yeah, we got quite a team growing. It's like the Avengers now of Doctor impressionists. So that's almost like our trademark now.
And we've just recently done Doctors Assemble,
Yes.
which was great fun. I really enjoyed it.
I checked it last night. 100,000 views.
Wow.
Oh, lovely!
Yeah. Thank you very much to Emily Cook for inviting us along for that, and we got to work with the greats John Coleshaw, Deborah Stevenson, and David Bradley, and Wink and Angus as well, who you got for Ode to a Time Lord, which has become like an impressionist directory now, I think, in terms of doctors.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun making that as well because, of course, I worked with you two again for that, and I was like, I just wanted to do a poem that kind of said something about each Doctor, and got impressionists for each one. It was massively ambitious, but yeah, I was really happy with the end result, and yeah, it was really nice meeting the new guys. You say like Elliot, who I'd not worked with before, and Chris, and Wink's really lovely. Like I thoroughly enjoyed working with Wink. The trouble with Wink was he would spend most of the recording time telling anecdotes about Doctor Who, which were great fun, but it was like kind of need to record you now, Wink.
Well, it's got to be when John and I had a bit of a tussle.
Oh yeah, when you roughed me up.
Yeah, we roughed each other. I roughed you up. I thought, right, let's go for it. Let's bring this alive. Because like John was saying, it's so solitary. Just recording, you're just like line one. It's still fun, but it's like line. But then when you're in the same room, it's like right, let's bring it to life. And
just bring
you hear the
scene
scene.
to it. Yeah, because I remember because there was the digging scene. Luke had given me some dumbbells to get that sort of right motion coming across and the right rhythm coming across in the audio. So we were going to use those for the fight, and then Peter said, "No, it's not working. We need to have the fight." And it's like, bearing in mind, I'd only just met Pete like 2 or 3 hours before. It's like, oh, okay. and then we
haven't even. This was in the car park. We weren't even recording. I said, "Come on, let's have a fight. Let's have it out now." Who are you?
But one thing we've got to tell everyone, I think is worth sharing, is the place we stayed where Luke put us up.
Was it a bit poor?
Well, Pete and I were chatting about this. I don't know why it came up. We were chatting about this not long ago. We were just saying it was like something at a League of Gentlemen. And I remember Luke, you said afterwards you were a bit unsure about leaving us there, but it was just this.
Because we didn't. Yeah, because I thought we were going to meet up for a drink or something, but I was like, the hotel was so creepy. We're not going to reveal what the name of the hotel is. You had to walk through the pub, which was an empty room with a bar. And 3 blokes sat at the bar, just not talking, just drinking in silence.
It was very much are you local kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, and the whole place stunk of cigarette smoke. So I was gonna look around for John, but I thought I don't. It was a bit like a budget Shining overlook hotel. So I didn't want to walk around the corridors or knock on any doors. So I just stayed in my room.
We hadn't met each other. We didn't know each other by this point, and you arrived like the night before, and I left the night after. So we only had that sort of one day of crossover. Yeah. So it was a bit of a flying meeting. So the first I met you was in the car park the next morning. But yeah, I just squirreled myself away in my room and I just watched some stuff on my tablet. And
same here.
Wait for morning.
I've got a photo. Of the room that I stayed in.
Oh, right.
And you'll see the TV. John, you've seen it. I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I've
But
seen
we'll-
your TV.
we'll-
I didn't have a TV.
Did you not? So I was watching Top of the Pops 2. You'll see the photo, and the TV is like that big, and it's right up the top. So the viewing angle's like that, and it's just like, mate, this is crazy. But I wouldn't trade it for the world because it was.
No, it's all
was
part of
great
the.
weekend.
It's all part of
Yeah.
fun.
And then, like you're saying, Jonathan, you guys only did have that one crossover day, so we recorded over 4 days, I think. But
Was
obviously,
it 4 or was it 5? It might
I
be
think
4 actually.
I think it was only 4 properly. I had the stuff set up a day before because I needed to record like the
Yes.
care bots and stuff like that with
Yep.
Lino and my sister. So yeah, we did a bit of that, but proper recording was down to 4 days. Which was good, and I think the schedule worked out well. But yeah, because there's not a huge amount actually that the 9 and 12 are together. It was just the one day that we had you two together working off each
And we
other.
finished early on that, I think.
Did we?
And then we did some of Pete's scenes just of him on his own from the day after, I think, if I
Right.
remember rightly. Because I remember that we were able to go at quite a relatively relaxed pace. We weren't like pushed for time or anything.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
and
that's
that
always
was
better
my
than,
worry. Yeah, that's it. Well, when I was scheduling it, so for those who don't know, in the YouTube world, I work as a camera operator, so I work in the sort of filmy industry. I was trying to make sure that the frustration I have when I am filming, where you never have enough time and it's always rush, rush, rush. It's like, let's not do that because it's a fun, creative project. So let's make sure we stretch it out. As I say, it was the final thing is an hour and 10, and we record that over 4 days, which is plenty, really. But it did mean that we didn't need to rush. We could really focus on each scene. And when the scene wasn't quite working, we didn't need to think, oh, it's fine, move on. It was like, no, okay, hang on, let's stop, let's listen to it, and let's think, what do we need to change? So that was nice.
And it just gives us time to breathe and just get to know each other, really, rather than, right, actors are here, plug them in, deliver, let's go, right, thank you very much, bye.
Really getting the humour out of the script. It was great fun. Like there's something I could see why you're single. Little things like that.
Yeah, that's one that's popped up on YouTube
great.
comments. People love that for some reason.
Yeah.
They found that very funny.
Yeah. And I've been in an accident that wasn't my fault, which is great. Which is kind of that is something that the Ninth would say.
Yeah,
If he was taking the mic.
Because again, that was a note from Lino in some of the early drafts. It was trying to make sure that your Doctor, that Ninth, was going to come across as Ninth from sort of 2005. So I really rewatched that first series and tried to do the sort of T. Davis type things, and and hopefully that came across.
Yeah, it works really well. It's like tea time TV and a few mild cultural references that just work. And
it was just fun. Really fun to blend that era. So blend the Ninth Doctor with the 12th Doctor, because they're two very different eras of the show, and do it in a way that didn't feel wrong. And hopefully, that's what you get. You get a kind of fun crossover.
Here's a question for you, Luke. How tricky or different was it writing for 9 versus 12? Because like I said, 9 is a very much contained Doctor in that one series, whereas 12 was not only ongoing, but two very different characters in those two series we had, because we recorded it, I think, was it not long after series 9 or the year after series 9?
Yeah, about then. It was early 2017, I think we recorded. So so we were very much in the middle of the Capaldi era. Yeah. And his era really does vary. Like his Doctor, I think, is quite different from series 8 to series 10.
If we're being generous, he evolves.
Yeah, that's right. Which a lot of the Doctors do. That's fine. It was. I found writing for 12 relatively easy. However, with hindsight, looking back at what I've written, I think I would change certain elements. I don't think I got everything about 12 right. When I've listened to other fan fictions of 12 and I've read other things, it's like, I didn't always get the patter quite right. I mean, you did marvelously with your performance to make that, the script work. But I think I ended up spending a lot of time really working on 9 because I wasn't getting 9 right to start with. So I sort of made, spent more time researching that, getting that right, and perhaps forgot about 12 at times. But I think between you, because of your impressions, and so many people on YouTube have commented this, it still works. They can really hear 9 and 12. The writing works, the performances work. So I'm not too worried. But it was a challenge, definitely.
Right, so it's time to sit back, relax, get your YouTube fired up. What's YouTube? I don't know. And listen to Exhausted Supplies. Have a fantastic life.
and I'm going to put on the sonic shades, and I'm going to stream it directly into my head. So here we go. See you on the other side. It's in 3D now, which is weird because it's audio.
Hello again. So, halfway through, hope you liked the cliffhanger. It wasn't actually in the original script. The original script ran straight through, but I find audio can be a bit wearing if you're listening to it for a long time, so I tried to break this roughly in half. And yeah, in the edit I was like, this works as a good cliffhanger moment, really relevant to the story, so it doesn't feel cheap and wasteful, and it gives people a chance to, just take a breather. And so, while we take a breather, I'm going to play you a deleted scene from Exhausted Supplies. It's a very short scene, it's just 30 seconds, and it features just the old lady. She's in her shop. This is just after the 12th Doctor's been knocked out. It was in the script originally because the way it was going to be ordered, we were going to start with the 12th Doctor and then go to the 9th. As a result, we had a really long scene with the 9th Doctor and Sally, and it was just too much, so we thought we need to break it up. So we just inserted this short scene, which we'll hear in a moment, to break it up. However, in the edit I realised, actually let's start with the 9th Doctor and then go to the 12th Doctor. As a result, with the rejigging of things, we didn't need this extra scene, so something that was inserted quite late in the script ended up being cut anyway. But here, for the first time, you can hear the deleted scene of old Sally.
What? There's nothing but junk in his pockets. Where's his cash? And what in the name of all that is holy is a jelly baby? You said it, Archie. There's only one place for this fella.
So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of fun. So we're going to go back to the action now for part 2. So that's it. Thank you ever so much for joining us. If you've got any questions for the cast or crew that you haven't asked here on YouTube already, head over to Twitter, use the hashtag 9and12, and we'll get back to you. I think Lena will be on there, Pete and Jonathan, Robert. Just ask us your questions, tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Be fun to have a chat. All right, bye for now.